Hi everybody, this is Bella here again with another video. I'm going to be doing a kind of short makeup tutorial. I actually kind of want to do just like a simple look, something you could do in like, you know, if you had like only 20 minutes to get ready or something, you could do it quick and it'll look nice and, you know, just seamless. And yeah, so I'm going to try to keep this intro as short as possible to save on time. I already put like primer and stuff on my skin. For my primer, I use the L'Oreal Paris Magic Lumi Light Infusing Primer. This stuff's really great. It's pretty cheap. I think this is like $6 and I've had this for a while. Yeah, it works great. Gives you a nice luminous finish. And I'm going to take some of this Hard Candy Sheer Envy Hydrating Primer Mist. This is also like, I think $5 or $6. And again, it works really great. I'm just going to spray some of that. Take my knockoff Beauty Blender. This was like $5. It's not as good as the actual Beauty Blender, but it works. And it's $15 cheaper, so it's like, it's a steal in my opinion. Okay, I think I'm going to start with my eyes first, although it's going to be kind of simple, so I guess I could do, I'll do foundation and stuff first. Okay. I'm going to be going in with the L'Oreal Paris True Match Lumi Healthy Luminous Makeup. This has SPF 20. I'm going to be taking two shades because W12 Warm is too light for me and W5 Warm is too dark. Oh, I'm sorry, this is Sand Beige and Light Ivory. So I'm going to just mix like one or two drops of both. I'll probably do one of the darker one and two of the lighter one. Two little ones. Just to get a good shade match. Mix it around in my hand, which were washed, and I'm going to apply it to my face. I'll zoom you guys in a little bit, because the light of my camera will actually kind of help. I'm going to try to get better lighting. I know you can get pretty good like studio lights for not too expensive, because I'd only need like a small one on Amazon, so I'm going to check that out probably. And I'm going to take my Beauty Blender and take the rounded end and really just pounce this into my skin. Now I'm looking in the camera on the computer, so I'm probably going to take a palette and use the mirror in that just to kind of look at stuff, so forgive me if I'm kind of doing that throughout this. Okay, that looks alright, I think. Give it a good pat. I like that. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more. And I'm going to blend some on my neck, too. Just a little bit. Just put some on my cheeks, on my forehead, because I've got a little bit of texture. I really like using a sponge for foundation and concealer and all that. Anything that's cream or liquid, just because if you're not careful when you're using like concealers and stuff, you can really easily get cakey foundation and all that. So you just have to make sure to really blend and use something that's going to work for you. Just going to really buff, right? Now I'm going to go in with concealer, which I'm also going to kind of use to highlight as well. I'm going to use two shades of my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This stuff's really great. It's got like a really liquidy consistency, so it's easy to blend, but it also has like really amazing coverage. So you can use this to highlight and to conceal. And I'm going to apply it first because this doesn't dry very quickly. Because, like I said, it's very liquidy. So I can leave it for a few minutes to kind of really like cook with my skin, really like warm up with my skin. Because that way when I blend it with my beauty blender, it will more easily go into the skin and look more flawless, look more like second skin. Which is kind of the look I like to go for. Just really gonna blend it out. You really want to pat this in. And every so often I'm going to be taking that facial spray and spraying my beauty blender with it. Just so it stays nice and damp. In fact, I'm going to spray a little bit on it now, just on the butt end. Really have that soak it up and then press over the foundation and the concealer. I'm not going to do cream contouring with this look because for like an everyday thing, I don't really typically do that. I'll just do the concealer and the foundation and then just set it. That was shade 15. I'm going to go in with just a little bit more on the places I want to highlight. And I've got pretty dry skin, so this concealer actually works really well with my skin. Because it's really hydrating, so it lasts really well. And at least on me, it doesn't really settle into my fine lines or crease a whole lot. Which is kind of crazy, because I think they're... Don't quote me on this, but I want to say they're like $7 a piece. I'm going to put this on my YouTube channel, so on that video, I'll have everything I used linked below, including brushes and stuff. Okay, I'm going to take my Coty, I'm not going to do that yet, actually. I'm going to take my NYX Contour Palette, Contour and Highlighting Palette. Looks like this. 2 matte highlights, 2 shimmery highlights, and 4 contour / bronzing colors. This is $25, I think, which is a pretty fair price considering a lot of these cost a lot more than that. The Anastasia one's like $40. Not that it's not good, but... And I'm going to pat under my eyes first. And I'm just mixing the yellow banana color and the like white-ish color. Just because the yellow is too yellow, but the white color is a little too light for me. Because I have a little bit of an olive, like a yellowy green undertone to my skin. So it's a little bit darker. Like, in fact, this color might be a little bit too light for my foundation. But if it is... I'll just bronze, and that'll be fine. Now I'm going to take my Real Techniques brush. Oh, this is an e.l.f. brush, by the way. This is the blush brush, I think. And this is a Real Techniques powder brush. I'm going to take my Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. This is in Translucent Extra Coverage. I can't see the back thing anymore because I ripped the sticker off, but I'm fairly certain that's what this one is. So it doesn't have any color to it really, but it does provide extra coverage. And I'm just going to put that everywhere I didn't put the other powder. And I'm not going to go over the spots I put that lighter powder because it will get cakey, since this is like a powder foundation technically. And then once it's all set, I'll just go over it with this Studio M Pro stippling brush and just go in circular motions over everything. And all these brushes I'm using are super affordable. I don't think any of the brushes here I spent more than like 10 bucks on individually. Some of them are from sets, which obviously cost a little bit more, but okay, I'm feeling pretty good about that. I am going to set my eyes a little bit more. I'm going to take my Jeffree Star Cosmetics Beauty Killer palette, and I'm going to take the shade China White, this kind of cream white color. I like this palette, but I don't really reach for it very often, if I'm being honest, simply because I like to do more like neutral looks a lot of the time. Well, not necessarily neutral, but I don't like to do like crazy colors a lot. I do like some of the colors in here quite a lot though. So it looks pretty good. Okay, what kind of look do I want to do with that? I'm gonna dip into my BH Cosmetics with ShanXO eyeshadow and lip color palette. I'm sorry that this is kind of gross looking. I just use this a lot. I'm gonna dip into this like mustardy orange color and use that as a transition shade. And just put that right into the crease. And as you can see, there's not like a ton of color to it. It just will add that little bit of warmth that I like. Because my eyes are brown, and I think a lot of oranges look really good with brown eyes. So I typically like to use colors like that, which I'm going to for this look. Because this would be like my everyday look. If this isn't yours, then I'm sorry, but this is what we're doing. Okay. I'm going to take my Morphe brushes, E22, and take the, I'd say this is kind of like a brick color, like red-brown, sort of. And I'm gonna take the brush and hold it closer to the top of the ferrule so it's a little bit more precise, and put this right on the outer V. Let's see how I can do this. And then I'm just gonna blend it into the crease. Circular motions on the outer part, and then as I go into my eye more, I'm gonna go back and forth, and then circular motions back and forth, and see how that creates just a nice little bit of something something. Same thing on the other side. So I'm definitely gonna try and do more like personal videos. I want to try and do some like Q&A videos or something like that. But I figured I would just do a makeup tutorial for this one for funsies. And like I said, I apologize if this is a little bit long. I'm gonna try and find a good editing program so I can like kind of cut some of the silliness out for some tutorials. But I have a Chromebook, and I haven't been able to find a good program for this yet. So I'm kind of thinking there's not one. I'm going to go back and blend anyway, just to make sure there's no harsh lines and it's just really soft and pretty. I'm going to go back in with that other brush with no additional product and just kind of blend over top. To anybody, by the way, who watches this entire video, you are super awesome. And I love you and appreciate you. And even if you watch it for 5 minutes, you're still awesome and I appreciate you. Okay, I think I might leave it like that for now. I might add a little bit more, just a little touch of more drama later. But for now, I'm going to take this middle color in the top row, which is, as you can see, the most loved. It's like a really nice shimmery shell color. And I'm going to put this on the lid. This is really super brightening. Because I set my lids with a powder, this might not come up very well because I usually don't. I usually leave it a little bit sticky, especially if I use concealer, because shimmery shadows will just kind of like stick to it. But it'll also set it so it won't crease. Fun little tip for you. You also could probably wet your brush, like spray it with some of that facial mist or something, and it'd be more foiled. But some shadows it won't work with, so just be careful with certain formulas. This particular palette, it is claimed to be wet or dry though, as a lot of their palettes are. Which actually, BH Cosmetics is a great brand if you want really good makeup at a cheap price. Like, they have mist products, of course, but they have a lot of stuff that's really good. When I first started doing freelance, I bought a lot of their stuff for my kit because I didn't have a lot of money to purchase on high-end stuff. So I just got what I could, like eyeshadow palettes and stuff like that, and it got them at a good price. Okay. I'm thinking I'm liking how that looks for now, so I'm going to go back to the face, and I'll go back to the eyes if I'm feeling like it needs a little something more. Alright. So, let's see, what brush do I want to use for that? I'm going to take my Zoeva 106 powder brush, and I'm going to reach back to my NYX contour palette and take the bronzer, which I like because it's really warm, but it's kind of like red toned, so it's not like dirty looking. But I'm just going to really blend that into my skin. I like using like powder brushes like these for bronzing because it makes the color a little bit more blended, so it's not like super harsh in your face. I usually will use like a bigger powder brush than this, but I want this bronzer to be a little bit more targeted so it's not so intense because it is very warm. I just think since that color was a little, that foundation color was a little light, I can get away with this. And I can always blend over it if it's a little too intense, you know what I'm saying. Blend more on top of the forehead and go up into the hairline. Just put some on my nose. I'm going to take that same stippling brush I used earlier and just, I'm probably going to use this for every step. Just blend in between, just because I think it'll look really, really nice. And I think I'm actually going to take some of that bronzer on the stippling brush and just go back in. Because for my everyday look, I typically like to do like lots of bronzer, lots of glow. It's kind of my go-to. Take some down my jawline and my neck and really blend it. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I think so. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take. Where is that? Oh, here it is. Sorry. I'm gonna take my Zoeva 109 face paint brush. It's just a really nice narrow brush, and I'm gonna take some of this taupey color, like taupey sort of ashy color, from the NYX contour kit, and I'm just gonna contour my cheeks with it. I like to pat and then go in circular motions upwards, kind of making it one with the bronzer. And I'll go back with the brush I used to bronze and blend over it anyway. So I try to blend it, but I'm not too worried about it, because I can always fix it. There's lots of tips and tricks. And I actually, with the contour, like to blend down just a little bit. You want to blend up and down. But don't blend down too far, else it'll look kind of shallow. I just go down a little bit so it will blend better. Go back with the bronzer brush. And just buff, buff, buff. Alright, I'm gonna highlight before I do my blush, and I'm gonna use this, well, what does this look like? That's a little too dark for me. I'm gonna use this kind of white silvery highlight from the NYX palette. NYX palette. And I'm just gonna highlight. And this is a Real Technique setting brush, which is my favorite brush to highlight with. It's nice and like tapered. This highlight's very powdery, but it really works. I mean, you can see that. Gives a nice little sheen. Go down the center of my nose, forehead, Cupid's bow, and chin. Now I'm going to do my blush, and for that I'm going to use my Wet n Wild stippling brush, and I think I want to use my Wet n Wild pearlescent pink. This is Color Icon blush. This is really pretty because it's like a nice kind of peachy pink, and it's shimmery too, which is really nice. So I'm just gonna blend that on my cheeks, kind of going over the highlight so it'll blend. And remember, back and forth, circular motions, back and forth, just really, really blend it. You want it to be nice and seamless. Ta-da! I'm going to go back and contour my nose. And I'm going to use my Zoeva 142 Concealer Buffer, which I also will use this for cream contouring to get really nice and precise. But it works well with powder. So I'm going to start in the middle of my nose and just buff it. Because I'm going to go over this with my beauty blender anyway. And I like this taupey color because it's got like grayish ashy tone to give you that shadow, but it's not super intense. It's not like super dark, so it's not gonna look really, really, really ashy. I think I'm actually gonna take some of that bronzer and put it in my crease. Just for some warmth. Yeah, I like how that looks. It adds a little bit of depth more, so. But it's not like overpowering whatsoever. Which is good, that's what I strive for. Gonna go back with that and just kind of pat over the edges. Alright, so that's looking good so far. I think I'm going to move on to my eyebrows really quick. I'm going to take my NYX Micro Brow Pencil and take the spoolie and just go through and brush them out. I'm going to take my NYX Tame and Frame brow pomade. And I'm going to use this 317 wing liner brush from Zoeva just to get a really nice sharp line. And I'm going to start by going underneath. And I'm just doing kind of fine strokes. I'm just going to underline it first, because I'm going to clean it up with concealer anyway really fast. Just kind of try to make it so you can see what I'm doing. And when I get to the front, I'm just going to really precisely there we go. There we are. Brows are done. Just need to set them. I'm going to take my NYX Control Freak. I think I'm going to do my lips. This is the Jordana Sweet Cream Matte Liquid Lip Color, and this is in the shade Creme Brulee 01. So I think this is the lightest color they have. And I'm not really overdrawing my lips or anything. Just filling them in. That looks good. I like that color. Alright. I'm going to do my bottom lash line really quick. I'm going to take that same Ready brown color on a pencil brush, which I think is from BH Cosmetics, if I remember right. And I'm going to focus it mostly on the outside. Like probably stop right where my I feel like I need a little bit of darkness right at the lash line, so I think I'm going to do something with that. I'm going to take this no-name brush. I honestly don't really know where this is from. I've had it forever. In that same red-brown color. I like this because you can kind of like stamp with it. And I'm just going to put it right on the outer. Then I'm going to take this black color just to make my lashes look thicker. You see how that already kind of makes a difference? I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Sorry, I'm a little congested, guys. I'm even going to try to do a little tiny wing with it. Just blending this black kind of into a wing. And it looks kind of crazy now, but I'm going to blend it in just a second. adds just a little bit of definition without being too crazy. Adding a little bit more black. There we go. We're almost done. Just gotta do mascara and highlight a little bit more, and we are all finished, you guys. Gonna take my Rimmel Lash Accelerator. This is awesome if you want lengthening. And I'm just gonna apply that. Makes the most ridiculous faces. She gives a nice amount of length. I want to add a little bit of volume though. So I'm going to go in with Maybelline Falsies Volume Express. And just... see, that just makes them a little bit thicker, a little bit blacker. Going to take, let's see, same Rimmel Lash Accelerator, but it's kind of like meant to be for your bottom lashes because it's a little bit of a smaller. Pretty good. Okay, all that we've got left to do is set our face. And I'm going to use, well, no, I think I'm actually going to use the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray. Just give myself a couple good more sprays. Take my beauty blender and just go over everything one more time. And I think that is the finished look, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. My hair looks absolutely crazy. There we go, that's a little bit better. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. It's kind of a simple, just kind of everyday go-to. The video is going to be just a little bit over 40 minutes long, but if you were doing this look without, you know, like the talking and pausing, it probably only take you about, you know, 20 minutes, 15 minutes. I can do this in a good 15 minutes if I'm in a rush. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video and learned something cool today. And hopefully I'll be back with another video soon. We will see. I love you, and I hope you guys all have a good night and a safe holiday. And if you're watching this video from my YouTube channel, then I hope you subscribe or give a like and a comment. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.